for our lives, it almost seems laughable to us at times. But church, I want you to hear me. The Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. The Hebrew word for vision is chazown. Now, until this week, I really hadn't been pronouncing this word the right way because you need to kind of make a guttural sound when you say it. It's kind of like when you clear your throat, like that. I learned how to do that on the farm, by the way. So with that thought in mind, let's say this word together. Get ready, get your guttural sound ready. You ready? Here we go. And it's ka. You ready? Chazown. Once again. Chazown. Now wipe the spit off the person's head in front of you. Where there is no chazown, the people perish. What is chazown? Well, it's not an Italian pizza pie. You shouldn't talk about that 1128 either. Chazown, this is what it means. A dream, a revelation, a vision. Where there's no dream, where there's no revelation from God, where there's no vision, where there is no chazown, the people perish. On the back of your bulletins, go ahead and get that and look on the back. There's a scale from 1 to 10. And I want you just to take a second and rate this past week. 1, if it was the most horrible week that you've ever had. 10, if it was the greatest week you've ever had. 2, if it was bad. 9, if it was great, and so on and so forth. Just go ahead and put a little mark there and rate this week, okay? While you're doing that, I'm going to take a drink here. Now, let me ask you this question. What did you base this rating on? In other words, if you gave your past week a 2, why? Is it because you lost your job, or you're fighting with your spouse, or your child got in trouble at school, or your car broke down, or maybe you had a bad hair week? Maybe that was the nightmare you experienced this week. If it is, I offer my condolences. Actually, I'm not sorry for you at all. So the question is, if you rated your week low, why did you rate it low? And if you rated this past week high, the question is the same, why? Is it a good week because you had a good week with your spouse, or your kids are doing well in school, or you got a promotion? Now think about how you rated your week. And then ask yourself this question. Why did I rate this past week the way that I did? In other words, how do you define success? That's really the question that I'm asking you. What is success to you? And a more important question is, what does God say success is in our life? You see, everybody wants to have a great life, but most people don't know how to recognize a great week, much less create one. But hey, everybody ends up somewhere. But few people end up somewhere on purpose. Where there is no chazown, where there is no vision, people just wander aimlessly through life. In the 2004 Summer Olympics, Matthew Emmons was shooting for the gold medal in the 5-meter 3-position rifle final. He was way ahead of everybody else. All he had to do was hit somewhere close to the center of the target, and the gold medal was as good as his. So he took aim, he prepared himself, slowed down his heart, his breathing stopped, and he fired. Boom. Bullseye. Right in the middle. The only problem was he hit the wrong target, and he dropped to 8th place. Where there is no vision, people hit the wrong target. Now think about that. That is devastating. That guy's probably still not over. I can't think of anything worse than for us to get to the end of our lives and then look back with regret. But hey, everybody ends up somewhere, but only a few people end up somewhere on purpose. Now you might be thinking, well, what's the big deal, Harv? Teens, your tendency is like, chill out, Pastor Harv. I've got my whole life ahead of me, so what does it matter if I just kind of hang out and waste time and just do whatever I want to do? Well, wasting a day really isn't a big deal, because if you waste a day, it's just a day, and everybody has the right to waste a day now and then. When I'm on vacation, I even like to waste a few days in a row. But the problem comes, the big deal comes, when after you waste a day, it becomes a week, and then it becomes a month, and then it becomes a year, and then before you know it, you've wasted 5 years, you've wasted 10 years, you've wasted 20 years, you've wasted 30 years, and one day, looking back over your life, you'll realize that you spent your life investing in things that don't last. And the reality of that truth will hit you like a ton of bricks. I've seen this as a pastor happen in people's lives. Because they realized that they didn't just waste a day, a week, a month, or a year. They ended up wasting their life. And I can't think of anything more tragic than a wasted life. You know, I can't stand the thought to think that I would live an unremarkable life. That drives me crazy to think that I would just live a status quo life. But my friends, everybody ends up somewhere. But few people end up somewhere on purpose. Now, the title of this series is Chazown, but we've subtitled these messages practically as Life Development Plan. Can you say those 3 words with me? Life Development Plan. And the reason I'm so excited about this series is because I'm not going to just preach to you and tell you what you need to do. Over the next 5 weeks, we are going to build a foundation together so that we can end up somewhere on purpose. I believe with all my heart that this series can be life-changing for us. Hey, I'm almost 50 years old, so let me just say this. Adults, this can be life-changing for us. Hey, teens, I wish I would have heard this message when I was your age, because this series can be life-changing for us. I believe this series can be life-changing for any of us who will really engage in it. And here's why. We're going to talk about something real important, very important. We're going to talk about God's plan for our life. So today, we're going to start by talking about mission and values. Let's listen to what some people have to say about their mission in life.
What could be considered a purpose or a calling?
No, thanks.
Everybody has a purpose. And what would yours be?
I haven't really thought about it.